So today I went and picked up the next project, a 1977 Chevrolet Cheyenne, Camper Special. 4-wheel drive. It's got the full-time 4-wheel drive transfer case on it, but at some point in time somebody went and put hubs on it so that could be unlocked. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape for the most part. You know, the bumper's nice and straight, no dents or dings. We got a little bit of weight reduction in this fender there, especially right there. You can kind of see. So we'll have to address that. You know, you don't see rust in the real key spots though, like back here in the cab corners where they always rust out. Just some surface rust there. Got a little bit of body damage here on this door that kind of looks like somebody maybe tried to knock out a dent or something. Didn't know what they were doing. So I suppose we'll have to address that. The hood needs to be adjusted, but it was reinforced and is straight, so that's good news. These square bodies are pretty good at bending hoods, especially with folks that don't know how to actually properly close them. Came with a new fuel tank. I'm led to believe that one of the two saddle tanks is in bad shape, and I think it's the one on the other side, because this one looks like it's in better shape. I'll show you the other one. Got the factory hubcap on it still. It does have this flatbed. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep it that way. I think I'm going to go see if I can source a fleet side bed for it and put it back to, you know, the way it would have been when it came out of the factory. Just put a regular bed back on it. Another nice hubcap. This is the fuel tank that I'm kind of thinking is the one that's got problems. But I guess I don't know. I'm told one of them has problems though, which isn't uncommon. One of the other square bodies that I've owned in my life definitely had leaks. You'd fill it up and it would drip, drip, drip fuel all over the place. I've actually got kind of an interesting way of fixing that. JB Welding a quarter. You wouldn't think it would work, but it worked. Alright, well, we'll take a look under the power barn here, see what we can see. I was really pleased when I was loading it up on the trailer to discover that the brakes actually work. Which for a truck that's sat as long as this one has, it looks like the last time it was registered was 12 years ago. Which, it's a farm truck, so that doesn't necessarily mean it sat for those 12 years. It could have been driving around the farm or whatever. But anyway, that's still working, so that's good. I'm told that this is a Turbo 400. It's really hard to tell because it's got about an inch of gunk, or not a Turbo 400, excuse me. I'm told that this is a 400 small block. It's extremely hard to tell because it's got so much gunk and crap. It's almost like it was a farm truck or something. Definitely leaking everywhere. Valve cover gaskets or something. Let's see, what does this say? You guys read that? It's some sort of emissions thing. Yeah. Factory AC, which is pretty neat. And starting with the interior. Some good, some bad. Door panels appear to have quite a bit of sun damage and wear on them. That speaker is no good. That is obviously not factory. Pretty sure that they didn't mix the red color with the blue from the factory. So I'm guessing that this guy came off of another truck at some point in time. It's got the original carpet in it, sort of like a 1970s shag. Look at that. Ooh, that's nice. Really excited about pulling that out. It's going to be gross, but it is coming out because it is extremely faded in multiple spots, and just kind of, we're going to replace that. The seat is factory, has not been replaced. Actually looks like it may clean up pretty good. I mean, it's not a terrible spot. There's kind of a little delamination of the vinyl here, but I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not. We'll take a look and see. I'm gonna crawl up in here. The truck's still up on the trailer, so I kind of have to climb up here. Yeah. So the other door panel, same situation, except for the bumper thing there matches. So we got that going for us. Pretty typical 1970 Chevy dash crackage, which is not the end of the world and can be fixed. These guys here look worse than they are because they're filthy. But we have a brake idiot light. I see a Volto battery gauge, oil pressures, and that one is, what is that one? Does that say? That is engine temperature. Wipers, lights. Does not have the factory tachometer. Got to do a little bit of looking into the Cheyenne model. Figure out what it is that made it a Cheyenne. Later Chevys, like say the GMT 400 style Chevys and stuff, the Cheyenne was kind of the cut down base model. But I mean, this guy's got wood grain and vents coming out of the dash for people and everything else. Kind of strikes me as being, and AC also. See that right there? You get AC-age. Look at that, air conditioning, max, normal, and bi-level. Pretty nice stuff. Anyway, so yeah, there's some things in this truck that I don't think you get in a base model truck, but it also has manual crank windows, which, again, I don't know if you could get power windows in 1977 or not. I'm not sure that was a thing that I'm 100% positive that I know. But I suspect it's a thing we could find out. I'll do a little bit of research. But that kind of leads me to believe it's not the most deluxe model that you can get. Maybe there's models that are more deluxer. I don't know. 3-speed automatic transmission. Presumably in a 3/4 ton. It'll be a turbo 400, but I haven't crawled under there to look yet. I'd be shocked if it was anything other than that. This appears to be the transmission shifter selector for a full-time 4-wheel drive setup. It's got L lock, L, N, H, and H lock. So, again, gonna have to do some research and find out what all that means. But anyway, we're gonna start putting some lipstick on this pig. And I think, in all honesty, the first thing that I would like to do, I know that the transmission's no good. It was advertised as being toast. But I don't know about the engine. I don't know anything about it. So I think what I'm going to do is go get a bar. I'm trying to figure out what size socket the harmonic balancer bolt is. And see if we can at least get it to turn over manually with some crankage. So we're going to work on that. You know, after I just said what I said about going and getting something for the something to turn the something over, I realized these don't have clutches on the fans. It's a metal fan. And so I just reached in here and I grabbed the fan. Maybe you can see this, maybe you can't, but I'm gonna try. You see it turning over? I mean, it's moving anyway. So, engine is not locked up. I mean, it's got like a rodent nest in there. And like, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be something like a coil or something on top of that. I don't know. Maybe not. But there's no coil, so has to be. Yeah. Let's see what's in here. I mean, it says it's got oil in it. Come on, phone, focus. It definitely doesn't look or smell good, though. It's brown. Which it's not supposed to be. Brown, stinky transmission fluid indicates that perhaps they're right when they say the transmission's roached. Which again, I just want to reiterate, I'm okay with, because that's what I was sort of anticipating. Okay, I see that the AC edge is not hooked up. There's no belt in it. However, if one rolls it like that, it sounds like perhaps maybe it might have been disconnected because it's a little noisy. See if you can hear this. I'm pretty sure that probably sounded like shit. So, might be looking for one of those, which is fine. Not really all that concerned about that. Let's take a look at this boy down here. What do we got? The engine oil. I mean, it's got engine oil. It also smells like it's had better days, but it has oil in it and it's full, which means that it wasn't just sitting there leaking for the last 10 years. So one would think that all of this gunk and leakage and everything is either from a leak that was fixed at some point or a leak that only happens when it has oil pressure. Either one's possible. Let's dig into this guy. See if we can. It seems like it's kind of stuck on there. Let me get in here with my good hand. And by that I mean not my good hand, because I don't really have. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got it. All right, let's see what's going on in here. Ew. So gross. Okay, we're gonna put that back on and pretend we didn't see that. I think it's fine. It's gonna be just fine. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Let's see what this guy does. It's a little long-winded. What do we have here? An air filter and a quadra-junk. Yay! I mean, that it's working. It's not seized up. Let's see. I need to... Does it have a hose clamp on it? Nope, just pull it off. There we go. Get out of here. Ha! Ha! All right. I don't think that's supposed to be... I'm pretty sure... I don't think the quadra jets are supposed to have... Yeah, I don't think they need all of the spider webs to run, so I'm gonna probably take that off. Dude, everything really moves nicely. Like I've got, is that cruise control? Is that what that is? I didn't notice that it had cruise control. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I specifically saw that it didn't have cruise control inside, but maybe that's not the original carburetor and it's got the kit and caboodle to do the cruise control, even though it doesn't have cruise control. I take back what I said about it not having a coil. I just wasn't looking at it right. I definitely see the coil now. Let's see, what else? Some vacuum lines in here, but they all seem like they're in pretty good shape. I do see a little fuel filterage there. Should still be a mechanical fuel pump on this model. Yep, there it is. So probably the next step, I think the next step is we're going to get a battery in it. I'm going to come down here and disconnect the fuel line from the pump because I don't know what kind of gas is in the tank right now. Pretty sure that the gas that's in the tank is not going to be any good because this truck's been sitting for so long. I really don't want to pull that. If this pump is by some miracle still good, I would just as soon not pull crap gas into that pump and destroy it with crap gas. So I will probably go and remove that line and then run a line from like a boat tank or something temporary to let that pump do its thing, lift gas into this boy. Again, as long as it's sat, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I'm probably going to have to yank that sucker and put a rebuild in it. I can't imagine that the accelerator pumps are any good or any of that, which is fine. But I think the next step is let's see if we can get this engine running because, like I said, I know the transmission's bad. And I can just swap the transmission out. But if this engine is also bad, I may just go a completely different route. I may end up doing something more along the line of putting like a throttle body injected Vortec 350 in this thing with like a 4L80 auto tranny. So it's got 4 speeds and stuff, and maybe make this thing a little bit more attractive for somebody that wants to make it into a daily driver. I don't know. It just seems like that's not a terrible idea anyway, and I know those will bolt into these with very little muss and or fuss. Although, as much effort as I'm putting into putting the air cleaner back on, I'm sure you're all losing confidence in me as we speak. Anyway, if this engine's good, and it runs, and I can get it running good, and it's not like a gigantic POS, then we'll probably keep it alive and just put another Turbo 400 transmission in it. If it isn't any good, then we may be going on a search for a donor truck to get a throttle body injected 350 with a 4L80 automatic. Put a 4-speed auto in this thing and make it a little bit more of a daily driver for somebody. So anyway, that's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 and we see if we can make this engine make noises.